is they'll send me the Zoom link where they've allowed downloads, and they'll just send me that link afterwards and be like, here's the file. I'll go in there, I'll download it and then upload it to YouTube. And then I'll just shoot you an email, Chris, that says, okay, hey, it's processed. Here's the recording link. Because most of the time, and it is a good practice, the chair will, send a follow-up email a couple of days after the meeting with details about, hey, this is what we're looking for, or these are the important things we decided on, et cetera, et cetera. And by the way, here's a link to the recording. I encourage you to, view it and let me know if you have questions or where you want to help, that kind of thing.
All right, great. I can do that for sure.
And I have a Zoom cat. So if you see a black tail, she's right here. She's very loud and obnoxious. So
that's okay. I love the kitties. My son was volunteering for me at my grandparents' program last night here at the Cooperative Extension, and he came in with an ugly sweater that said "Cat Dad" on it.
Yes.
It had a big cat on it. Yeah.
Yes, I am daddy to 4 cats and 2 dogs. All 4 cats are black. 2 of them are outside rescues, including this one. And the dogs are both rescues, and they all have issues. This one is loud, and she still acts like she doesn't have any kind of home training, and she only really likes me. She doesn't care too much for my wife. So she will come and bother me on my desk every day, and I have to pet her belly, and she will mute me. She just put my caps lock on because she won't stay off of my keyboard. It's a cat, it's all that stuff.
I've seen a lot of interesting things with the critters at home. We had one of my colleagues from here in New Jersey. She got up from the space, and it had her name on there, had Alex on there, and the dog hopped up and had the cone on. He must have had some kind of procedure and sat there looking like he was participating. It was so funny because it was just like Alex is gone and here comes the pup, right in there.
That's adorable.
Yeah, it was really cute. I said I took a picture and I screenshot it for her and sent it. She's like, oh, that's so funny. But yeah, they've learned to live with COVID too, in all the shutdowns, right? So
yep.
All right. Well, not to keep you all, I don't want to keep you on here. I had, of course I did a little agenda, so I keep me on track, but, we did do I wanted to do introductions, with the 3 of us. I think it'll be pretty easy. I think we all know each other anyway, but I'm Chris Zellers, and I'm with Rutgers Cooperative Extension of CHS, down in Cape May County. So I'm the very little tiny tip of the boot of New Jersey. So that's me. So Rosie, you want to go?
Hi, Rosie Stewart. I'm with Arizona Cooperative Extension, and I'm in Santa Cruz County, which is down south, kind of eastern along the US-Mexico border.
Nice. Okay. And we know you, Will. You want to go?
Yes, I'm Will Ferguson. I am with Partners in Association Management, which is the management company that NEAFCS hired about 6 years or so ago. I'm your liaison to the national office for anything you can need. I'm here as a resource. And we are located in Tallahassee, Florida, which is up in the Panhandle. So it's like 80 degrees here right now. I heard y'all talk about Thanksgiving and stuff, and I'm right there with you. I can't believe it's already almost Christmas time. But really, with it being 80 degrees, I haven't even decorated because I'm not going to decorate while I'm sweating. I refuse.
You refuse. Well, so my son is down in Daytona Beach at Embry-Riddle University, and he comes home. He came home for Thanksgiving, and we are required to bring his parka. Mind you, it's 54 here, but we have to bring the parka because it's so cold here now. I'm like, you've only been in Florida for 4 years, buddy, or not. But right away it happened.
It does not take long for your blood to thin out when you are in a warm place. But yeah, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, and we'll go down to visit him, and we're in shorts and a t-shirt, and he's still walking around in long pants and long sleeve shirt. I'm like, come on, y'all are spoiled with your great weather in Arizona and in Florida. Yeah, we're having 54 today and 32 tomorrow and 54 the next day and 22. Yeah, so we're back up and down, and everybody's sick. So I did want to just really quick go over, we did the action plan for advocacy. I sent that out to everybody, so everybody should have a hand on it. If you don't have it, it is in the, and I sent it out for a review. But there was not a lot of changes requested, and we submitted that, and it is in the files that are included, I think, with the NEAFCS Advocacy Committee file. So it's in there if anybody wants to view it, or I'll gladly send it. And does anybody, Rosie, have any questions about that, or will you have anything with that?
Nope, no questions.
No, good, okay. And then of course, the first thing we did was Elevate FCS month, and Will sent a great email out on our behalf to get everybody doing. I have my background on there. I just went in and grabbed that. They have some good material, so it's good. And I think a lot of them will be helpful to us for sure. So if there's, ways to continue to do that, I know I sent that out to my block of colleagues here at Rutgers before it came out, to just say, hey, look for that email from NEAFCS. And if you're not a member, then, remember to elevate our profession and maybe become a member of NEAFCS. So maybe we're getting new people. I'm sure a lot of we had so many retirements, and a lot of people at conference were talking about how they were retiring. Oh, this is my last one. I was meeting all these great people, and they're like, this is my last time in retiring. I'm like, oh no. So with new people coming in, maybe it'll be a good shot for us to get some membership out of the Elevate and, advertise that way.
Chris, one other thing you could do, I'm going to try to post the first one today, but like we said, like each Wednesday, I'll look at what Elevate FCS, because I think FCS Fridays is what they're calling them. Like every Friday they have a particular thing. So I'll post those to our social media. One other thing, if you want to, you can reach out to the regional directors, the 4 of them. If you want to do that, I can give you their email addresses and ask them to share messaging. You could ask them to share that same messaging that went out via email. Of course, it went out to all of our active members, but not everybody reads their email. But they could then share that, asking them to then share that with their presidents, and for the presidents to then be able to send it out to all of their members in their state. So that way, even if someone's not a member of national, they could still get that good information. So if you'd like to do that, you are always welcome to reach out to the regional directors for help.
Okay. And now you said you would send me their email addresses.
Yep. I'll send you an email with all 4 of their names and email addresses in it, because we don't have them listed on the website, so people can't spam them.
Gotcha. Okay, perfect. Yeah. If you could do that, I'll get that out. And with the emails, I was looking for them this time, and it was actually good that I went in and unspammed you from my email. So I'll be getting those little NEAFC, because I was getting them. It was so weird. But then I stopped getting them, and I stopped getting announcements, like when I apply for presentations at conference and stuff, I wasn't getting them. So I was able to go in and unspam them. But I think a lot of universities do get that too. So
they do. And then what happens even here internally in our office, I'll tell you, about once a quarter, something that normally would come straight to me, our own emails, they wind up going in my spam box again. So I have to log in and whitelist them again. And once a quarter, it just happens. So I will send you, I'm making a note now. After we're done, I will email you the names and email addresses of those 4 regional directors.
Perfect. Thank you. Yeah. It's funny. When you're doing the right thing, you get spammed, and when it's the hackers, they get in.
Yes, exactly.
Inevitably, it's just life, right? That's great. Okay. And then the next thing I had to go over was just the Living Well month, which is coming up in March. I know we have a little bit of time left before that. But we, on that timeline for things that needed to be done for that, we need to, send more information about promoting Living Well month. And then one of the things that we had added to the goals was, to use the calendar again. And when we met at national session, we said that we were just going to realign the calendar dates. So we need that to be done. To update it, to get it out. We were going to update that and try to get it out early, hoping people will have the idea in their head ahead of time, because I know when it pops in March, I was like, oh, I didn't, schedule it for social media. So we have it a little early. Hopefully that'll help. So Will, is that something all we need changed is the dates on the calendar? Is that something you would do, or should we ask a member to do that?
I'm the one who put it together.
Okay.
Lindsay, I think it was Lindsay. She's the one who came up with the concept, and then I just took it and I made it pretty in Canva. So, and all we've really done, I think, the second year versus the first year was move around some of the activities. We can certainly keep all the activities the same, or if you see anything you do want to change, you can just tell me what you want changed. And then, yeah, I can rekajigger all the dates so that they match for March of 2023. Absolutely, we can do that.
Yeah, and I think that, I mean, Rosie, I don't know what you think, but I think if we had pretty much said everything looked good on there. So if you want to shift anything around, you know, at the in-person meeting, we said it was good. So if you want to shift it around, Rosie, what do you think?
I agree. Yeah, we you know, looked at it, reviewed it at the in-person meetings in September. So I think it's good to go. I think it really is just shifting the numbers.
Okay. And we did have, so I believe what we did last year was we made it so that in Canva, like we made the template available, the actual Canva template available. So that way individual states or individual schools could put their logo, their contact information for, you know, your county extension agent, boom, right there. So I'll do the same thing with that. I think we also made it available as a PDF in case they don't have Canva, but they do have Adobe they can play with. So I'll post those again once it's all cleaned up. Yeah, and then there's the videos as well, right?
Yeah, so the Living Well videos, so the actual videos that promote, you know, that people can use, we were, you know, going to kind of keep promoting them and letting them know they're out there. And we updated them all last year, correct? Yeah, so
right.
Good to go.
Right. We updated them with better quality resolution photographs and voiceovers were needed. So I can't, and we didn't put a year on them, I don't believe. I'll take another look, but I think those are ready to go. So more with the videos, I guess it would just be more of whatever schedule or however you guys want to market those as a resource for our members to then use in their communities and outreach and that kind of thing.
Yeah, so, and that was on one of the lists too, like to ask different people from this committee to maybe make just like a really quick, you know, we said in person meeting, we said, well, maybe if we just had people make like a quick recording, go on Zoom, 30 seconds. Hi, I'm Chris Zellers. I'm from, you know, the New Jersey affiliate at Rutgers Cooperative Extension. And I use the 8 components of wellness. I use one every, twice a week. I put one out in March so that people that follow me on Facebook for FCHS can view that. So just like little things from us, oh, here comes Gail now. Little things from us as, you know, members to be able to. Now I have a whole bunch of people coming. All right, we got 2 more to be able to promote. Hi.
Hi,
How are you, Gail?
I'm good. Sorry I was a little late.
No worries. No worries. Jennifer came in too. There she is. She's here and gone. Hi, Jennifer. How are you?
I'll unmute. Sorry about that. It decided it needed to update everything.
I think they do it every day now. Zoom.
Yeah.
So welcome to both of you. We were just going, Will's not nuts. He's patting a cat's head that we can't, he doesn't have an invisible basketball. He's just there he is.
Oh, how cute.
We dove right in. So I'll catch you both up. We were talking about, you know, at the in-person meeting when we had it at conference, we had created the action steps for the advocacy committee, and I'd submitted them out to the group so everybody had a chance to look at them. And then we were just kind of going through those and looking at what we had coming up. Will has sent out the email about the Elevate FCHS from AAFCS. And he is going to be doing some social media posts, gathering things from their website for us. So that'll booster it a little bit more. And then I'm going to email the 4 regional directors and ask them to share them with their different affiliates in the states and those involved, the members there, to all the members so that people get the word more. Oh, somebody was there and gone. Then we were just talking about the updating the Living Well month calendar. We had moved on to March, and Will is going to just move that around a little bit so we can recycle it for this year in March. And we're gonna try to get that out early so that we have the ability to use it coming up. And then we were talking about doing little blurbs of how we're using the Living Well Month materials. So we could put them out there to members to kind of give them ideas like, oh, I use the calendar and I send the calendar out on Mondays to give people ideas about Living Well Month or, those kind of things. So we're going to try to promote that and get that out from any of the advocacy members that are using the materials just to give ideas. Do you have any questions?
Can I
Go
ask
ahead.
a quick question?
Sure,
Because
yeah.
you said that, and so typically we send ours out like through Facebook and social media. Is there any way, because if I'm remembering it correctly from last year, it's like an entire month. Is there any way to have like a separate week so you could post it like on Monday, just 1 week at a time and say, hey, why not try this week?
Yeah, I think that's a Will question. Sorry, Will.
No, actually, I was Jennifer and I were smiling, I think for the same reason.
Yeah.
Lord, I hope it was for the same reason. Which is, I know she last year there in Kentucky, branded with Kentucky's brand. She would take individual days, I believe it was. She created a series of, I think she probably did it in Canva, right, Jennifer? And then
Yeah,
she
that was
posted those on Facebook.
That was our social media tech guru. She picked it right up when I shared it at a training. She picked it right up and ran with it. So she makes us look good. She's the brains behind all that. So, but yeah.
But to answer your question, if you would like me to, yes. Once I rejigger all the dates so that we have the full calendar, I could then take each individual week and make it, week of March, 2nd or whatever. And I could name them each one. And then I could share those. We could upload them, Christine, into the committee files or email them out or however we want to do. But I could break them up into individual weeks for sure. I really don't have the time to create 31 different individual days though, but I can certainly do weeks at a time. Absolutely.
Why not, Will?
Oh, just everything else. Yeah, but I can certainly do that. That would be new for this year. So I'll make a note to include that when I update the calendar. I'll
That's
break
awesome.
out each week.
Thank you. That would be great. And honestly, for a lot of us that don't have social media help, doing one post a week is a good thing to challenge all our HHS educators here.
Well, and
That can be your blurb, Gail, with your recording that you give out to the members of any AFCS, that you breaking it down in a week because you don't have a lot of time. I think a lot of people will relate.
yeah, Christine, I don't have it in front of me, but to look at each month, if we did it by a week, could maybe one day be on food nutrition, one day on more health, one day on financial management, if we do a week blurb, you know what I'm saying? So you're juggling those different areas of living well based on a week time.
Yeah. So we're getting all those different areas that we cover. Yeah. I don't know. I don't have the calendar in front of me, Will, but I mean, if you move them around and it works out that way, it'd probably be a good idea.
Yeah, I haven't looked at it since earlier whenever I last updated it, but I know they're kind of spread throughout, but I don't think it would take too much work. If it's possible, then we could leave the main the full calendar as kind of everything, kind of a mishmash throughout the week for sort of the old pros who just want to take it a day at a time. And then for the week ones, though, we could certainly do that. I could take the same items, but just make it a week at a time, and say, okay, let me grab all the financial ones. And if I'm short, I can reach out to you guys and say, hey, there's only 3 financial ones on here. We're going to need 4 more, or however many, we want to do. But yeah, I mean, because there's things like do 20 push-ups. So that's physical health, right? Or there's cook with fresh vegetables today. That would be food and nutrition. So I could certainly do that. And we could cover at least 4, since it should be 4, I think, in March. I don't think I'll have to look at the actual calendar, but I don't think it, goes off more than that.
So Well, I think we're thinking along the same lines, but again, for those that are time crunched and for you that's time crunched, what if we did this as a week? Like if you knew in your weekly calendar already that there's a food and nutrition, financial is going to be the tough one. So if you knew there was a week that highlighted something that was financial, maybe we do 1 week of March is food related, and that's like our call out to do something food this week. And the second week, there's a financial already in that line, so let's do something financial. The third week, let's do something physical health, and then that fourth week maybe a family oriented something, and that way you don't maybe have to actually go out and move everything, but just highlight something new every week.
So if I'm understanding you correctly, you're not suggesting I create a week that has all 5 slots as financial. You're suggesting that when we break them up into weeks, we suggest to our membership when they then use that resource on social media, they decide, okay, well, there's one on food and nutrition in this week's breakout. So I'm going to post this. Here's some things you can try for wellness. In particular, it's, let's focus on food this week. You'll see there's 1 or 2 things this week that do. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, I thought that might make it a little easier on you. If you didn't have
it
to
would.
try to juggle everything.
Yeah, that would
See,
definitely.
And I guess I was thinking, here's the calendar, it's faded in the background, except that week that's pushed out in like on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, everything's listed. It's one post, but it's your balanced life throughout that week.
Right.
I
So,
guess that's the first thing that came to my mind, but
so you're saying, Jennifer, not have everything, like not have a whole financial week, but rather have food, then financial, then physical,
Yeah.
then, and
yeah,
break it.
but there again, Will is the person who's the pro with this. So I think as long as we get it covered, it really doesn't matter how. But I was just thinking, because it shows the week in a life in a month. And so if you elevate that week out, that's just the way my mind went. That doesn't mean it's right, but
Yeah, I like that, having it kind of be still in the calendar, but poking out a little bit, like that raised idea. That's a good idea. Yeah, I mean, and I think that people can, if they do it that way, like Jennifer's suggesting, or like Gail's suggesting, they can use it as they need. Because I think the idea behind having it in the first place was kind of to implement it. But if we have some strategies that break it down into weeks, it might be a little bit easier for people.
yeah. And if you get it out earlier, the states will have time to say, oh, let's see here. We're going to focus on food this week. So here's some things that we're really going to put out and emphasize. Or I may host programs that week that focus on food, that's my feature programming. And then the next week I may focus on finance, or I may focus, on nutrition or health or whatever. So yeah, that would be, and that may be something that the committee can recommend is, here's maybe host a class, related to this week or whatever.
That link is to the Canva template. It's to the, I pulled it up so that I could take a look at it. So yeah, I'm sure I think I see it. I think I have got in my head what you're talking about, Jennifer. I've never done something like that where the blurred background and the call out like that.
Mhm.
Should be able to figure out how to do that with Canva. Hopefully, fingers crossed. But yeah, no, I love that idea too, because then it's constantly tied back into this overall, graphic, this overall calendar, this overall resource.
Yeah.
I have it
course-
shared on the screen if anybody needs to see it that way.
And there's the 8 areas to focus on, and yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, and there that square at the bottom right is what I was talking about before, where we made it so that people could, because we posted this template where they could actually edit it instead of just view, but where they could, put their contact information. So that way it could be personalized to your county agent kind of thing. So like I said, I'll redo this. It might not look the same because I was able to put under Sunday and Monday of this year's March, because Sunday and Monday were blank. Depending on how the calendar falls this time, I might not be able to put that back on there, but I will do my best. I'll get it
I
cleaned up.
think you can, Will, because Wednesday is the 1st, so you.
Oh, good.
Yeah, depending, you might have to shift the other block around. It might shift everything, but yeah.
I'll play with it, and I'll definitely make sure you have it so you can take a look at it way before we're ready to finalize anything. And then I can pull out I'll find a way to pull out the different weeks like that as well. I've got a note for both
Yeah.
of those.
And I think having that mix kind of gives everybody the chance to you're not going to get all 8 dimensions in a week. Obviously, there's only 7 days, but it would give everybody the chance to try to round it out. And that's the idea behind the wellness balance of dimensions of wellness. So yeah, that works good. Okay. Anybody else have anything on that? So going back to the, and I'm going to send a follow-up email again on Will's suggestion of, what needs to be done, to get the word out on this stuff. And we were talking about, when Jennifer and Gail came on about doing the little blurbs. So I don't know what the suggestion is for that, Will. Like, do you want us to get you some blurbs, or I don't know if anybody will respond to it or do it, but if we can get blurbs that you can put on social, does that work or no?
Yes. I love video. Jennifer knows that about me. I love video. However, feedback on like counts of people who click on our monthly videos and our newsletters and things, it's kind of hit and miss. So what I love videos, but some people get nervous on a video too. So like, they're like, I don't want to do it. To get the most participation and the most out of it, I think, I might suggest having them just write the blurbs, and submit those to you, and their name and what state they're with. And then you can send those, once you've collected them, you can send them to me. I can turn them into, using Canva, I can turn them into images, much like the leadership and the mentor and that committee, they'll send me, like, they make them and they send them to me and I just post them. But because then that way you've got kind of everything in that picture, because especially with Instagram, which we post to as well, it's all about what's on the picture. So we could turn them into some nice graphics, capturing little quotes, capturing what they said, and then we could put whatever our standard verbiage we want to use in the actual like body of the post. So like, March is Living Well Month, NEAFCS has developed these resources, here's the link to the website. And then so that would say the same, but the quote on what people were doing with it or whatever they wanted to say would change. I think that might make the most impact at this point in time.
Yeah, I love that idea. What does everybody else think? You like it?
I do. If everyone would just say it real quick, it doesn't have to be perfect, just state it, and then just send it. But it's like Will said, we're just finding that people will not click on that. They see it, but they just don't take the extra step to click on it. So if you click on it to start with and it's written, it's quicker. Yeah, we just have to, I think what we struggle with as a board is getting people engaged. To read the newsletter, and then they're like, well, we never heard anything about it. Well, it was in the newsletter three months in a row. So it's like, I can't go to your, in front of you and read it. So yeah, it's just part of responsibility. Goes back to that volunteer training. We have members, we have volunteers, we have leaders. They're all different. Maybe the same person, but it's very different. So we have lots of members.
Yeah.
And in the future, you may be able to, if you decide, it would have to be, I would suggest something you plan for before we ever got to the point of starting to collect the information. But there's nothing saying that at a later date, public affairs for
Advocacy.
Thank you.
I do it too.
I can say the word. I swear I can. It's not today. But a video could be made where we could perhaps at that point get either members or leadership, volunteer leaders, you guys, to be the face of the messaging that we're sending, but sort of like a recap of, what you guys have been doing. Obviously, Elevate FCS, this month. And then of course that for March, for Living Well. But you know what I mean? Like we could do something where, if you wanted to, where you could put together like little stories or little snapshots of, you know, Jennifer Bridge in Kentucky, you know, ran a successful campaign talking about her purchasing your first home as part of financial management of Living Well month. You know, that kind of thing. I mean, that could potentially be something. It's not been done before, and I'm not suggesting that you have to do it in any way, shape, or form. I'm just saying I think a video like that, because at that, then you have kind of like we could make it as like a premiere, like an event, like, hey, watch this video. But for now, as Jennifer said, those numbers, we get maybe 100 people who click on our videos right now, and we've got like 3,500 members.
Mhm. Very, very low.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Okay, well then we'll
how
give it a
about-
whirl this way and see what happens and move it to the next level then.
What do y'all think about maybe even afterwards? You know, maybe have someone talk about what they did, just real quick, record it, send it to Will, and Will maybe be able to do like a video for national meeting that would kind of air and show during sessions, you know, before or after opening session while people are coming in, and here's how we used it, and, you know, just make it very diverse across the country of membership and how they used it, and very succinct, and then meld all that together. And then if we could host, put it on the main web page so people could access later when they're like, oh, let me go back and see, you know, the video. At least they would have been exposed to it to start with, because we would have what, 500 or 600 members go to the national meeting versus 100 that might click on it. That's just a
Right.
thought.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a creative way to hit it again, Jennifer, you know, knock on the door again.
Yes, and I'm happy to act as a resource for that. I do. No, I'm not tooting my own horn because I'm bad about that anyway, but I do know videos. I do know video editing. So if you decide that would be something brand new, at least since we've been working with you guys, that would be something brand new, that you can noodle about and see if it fits within what you guys want to do. But it would be another way to wave the public affairs flag. It would be another way to bring, you know, that attention. I meant to tell you, and I forgot, Nancy Bach with AAFCS saw our message, saw your message, Chris, that I e-blasted out, and she responded back to that. And she was like, thank you. Thank you so much for helping spread this message. It means so much to us. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Good.
So she saw it and she was like, oh my God, thank you for sharing. So I wanted to share that
That's
with you
great,
as well.
Good. Yeah. Well, it helps us out. They have all the resources. So it's a win-win, right?
That's right.
Good stuff. Okay. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. So, we sent out the information to promote. We need to send, oh, the other thing we need to work on that we had on our list was to write a proclamation. But Will, I saw on the website, there is a proclamation about, yeah, it's already there, right? All right. Well, we checked something off of the to-do list.
Let me check it real quick. I'm not sure if it needs to be updated from you.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, that's was my next question to you.
And Chris, going back to the other, I don't know after the fact, after Living Well month, if you wanted to put just a Qualtrics surveys or something out of, you know, did you use the information? What did you like about it? You know, if you could change anything, what would change? And then anything unique you'd like to share. And then ask them optional to put their name on it. And then maybe we could go back then. You could go back then and say, hey, would you be willing to record just a quick session on your iPhone and send it to national so we could use that clip?
Okay, I like that idea.
So the link I just put in there is the proclamation for Living Well month. It does, I don't think it's got any year because it's a template, but it does have our old tagline logo on there. So I will replace that with our newer logo that was developed just last year. But otherwise, I mean, another person should look at it, but I don't see anywhere where it says anything about what year it is.
Okay, yeah, it looks, yeah, I mean, it looks generic enough. I don't know.
Yeah, it has mayor. Could you do even like the county judge executive or the county, I don't know, different states have different.
Yeah, yeah, because I know here in New Jersey, we would, if it's county, it'd be the commissioners and some people are freeholders and yeah. It's gonna
Ours is
vary.
judge executive, yeah.
What we could do is highlight it in yellow, like we've got the other places where they're supposed to update it. So we could highlight mayors. And then that way, whomever is wanting to do this, they can easily just add that to the edits that they wish to make for the rest of it. So I can add that as an option.
Okay. That'd be great.
Great. All right, no, hey, we're moving along. We're not gonna have anything to do the rest of the year, right?
Well, and that is the one thing. I mean, Chris, you guys have two main main events. And FCS Day isn't even what it used to be. Now, of course, it's Elevate FCS. And like you said, AA FCS has created all the stuff. We just help promote it. Which is why I was saying, you guys, depending on what your ultimate goals are, you may want to look at doing something like a video follow-up, once Living Well Month is over, because if your committee has the time to do it, it would be after that, if you're interested in doing it.
Okay,
But
yeah,
it's
well, yeah, I'm gonna jot that down to the, kind of add it to the list and highlight it and share with everybody again with the updates. So that's good suggestions. All right, so Will's gonna update the calendars. We're gonna send out the information that aligns with the components ahead of time. And then I guess encourage the members. We have it on there to be ongoing to encourage the members, but I can start, writing about it. December I have is the next time Advocacy is supposed to do the newsletter, I think. So I can do something for the 15th and like kind of do Elevate and Elevate FCS. When does it come out? I guess that's my question. December, It would be too late for that.
Well, that's what I was going to tell you. Technically, the deadline for December has passed. However, yours truly is the one that puts the newsletter on the website and sends it out. It does go out on the 15th.
Okay, I thought it was due the 15th. Sorry, I have it wrong.
It's due the 1st for the 15th of that month. So if you can and want to get it to me by, let's say, Monday morning of next week, I could include an article that it's around 250 words. Make sure you send us your headshot as well. And you can send it directly to me, Chris, if you want to, if you're going to be the one to do it. And I'll insert it in. And then in the future, like if you wanted to do something again for January, you would want to get it around the 1st or 2nd of January. You'd want to get it over to our secretary, Lisa Peterson, and she will sweep it into the overall newsletter. Same thing if you want to run it any other month too. She's happy to accept it. It's very rare we have to say, no, we can't put an article in. I honestly couldn't tell you the last time it happened. So you are welcome to include the information. We want to share that information with our membership.
Okay, I know they divvied up the public advocacy or the public, what's we're advocacy for public
affairs.
Thank you. I couldn't get to where the health was coming. I say public health too much in my life. So public affairs, they had broken it down by months, I think, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
yes, I can have something every month, but to save me time, then they broke it down to when committees could submit, which is great. So even if I do submit, like I just created one on the scholarship information will come out for PILD. And then just kind of getting PILD out there and because they'll release information pretty soon. So, but absolutely with Living Well Month coming up, it'd be great to do it. Because like with public affairs, everything falls at one time. I mean, it's just like, boom, we're doing impact statements and we're doing, all the other stuff. So it gets crazy sometimes. But yeah, go ahead and send it out anytime, Kristen. Anytime you have something you want to include,
just go ahead. Okay, I just wanted to make sure I was helping out with where you needed it. So if I had, you had said, let's fill it in here and there. So I just wanted to make sure I was hitting you up
anytime you have something, feel free to.
Okay. Yeah, I'll send it. Well, I'll probably try to get that over to you tomorrow because I missed deadline. Sorry, I had it written down wrong. So yeah.
Yeah, for
Okay.
this month, definitely send it to me, but in future months, actually, I wasn't thinking, sending it to Jennifer is actually a great idea. Because
Okay.
as Jennifer said, she is in contact with Lisa as the secretary, so get it to her. She can let you know if she's got any feedback for you right then, if it needs anything, and then she can submit it to Lisa, who then she puts everything into one file for me and sends it to me, and then I put it all
Got
up.
it.
So I can insert things last minute in this case, but it is better to do it on the front end.
Got it. Perfect. Okay, great.
And
All right,
pictures
so
are wonderful. Just if you have a picture to reinforce.
Oh,
We don't like
picture.
videos, but we like pictures.
True.
I
Right,
like
so
pictures.
so we can use like for the Elevate Family and Consumer Sciences, we could use something from AAFCS, right? One of the picks. Okay.
Yeah, pick whatever you want. Again, this will be coming out on the 15th. So if you wanted to, you could include like whatever they're doing, that, which I think the 15th is on what is that, Thursday, Friday, this next
The
week?
Thursday.
Thursday. So you might include what's going on either that Friday or the following Friday, since not everybody opens the newsletter when they get it. You might want to choose I don't know how, I haven't looked at all the stuff that they have on their website, but yeah, you can include images as well. Like Jennifer, she usually includes one, and yes, people do like to look at the images.
Yeah, get your attention.
We're all the same.
1,000 words, right? A picture's worth 1,000 words. So Rosie just put in the chat that if you go back to the proclamation, going back to that, if you look at the AAFCS for FCS month proclamation, the template for verbiage and model the Living Well month proclamation after that. So we could pull that up.
She put the file in there for us.
Oh, she did. Thanks. That's so funny. It went. Let's see if I can open it here. Share it with everybody again. Got it. My computer, for some reason today, is slow, is very, very slow. And making a lot of noise for me. Oh, yeah, so they have the different days broken out too, so there you go. So I'll have that.
Yeah, and at the very bottom, you'll notice it has like how to mention, the public official's name, title of the public official, all of that.
Mhm.
I think I did a quick comparison of the two because I had this open when I was looking at the, I'm not sure what exactly the differences are, but if somebody wants to look at it and see if we can, what the differences are and what we want to maybe include or not include, or if you just want to keep the other one the same, or
I
use
think for
more of this.
the main verbiage in the other one for Living Well Month, it's fine. I was just saying for like the public official's name instead of having mayor on there, and like the title of the public official, make it even more generic than the one that we have currently, if that makes sense.
Got it. Yeah, that's a good idea. So you think we could do that? We'll make it a little more generic.
Yes, I would recommend that I send this committee the Word document version of the proclamation. I'll go ahead and replace the tag logo, so it's our new one. And then you guys workshop that Word document until it appears to includes the information you want it to. This is definitely not my strong suit. I definitely think this committee has a better idea of everything that they would want included. So if you guys would workshop it, then you just send it back to me and I'll save it as a PDF, I'll get it uploaded to the website. And then since we've got a little bit of time before this, because I'm thinking February might be when you start promoting all the stuff for Living Well Month. So I mean, that gives, it gives a whole month for you guys to kind of, I don't know who wants to do it, but that would be my recommendation.
Okay, that's a good recommendation too.
I'm working on this history of extension thing for a presentation next week, but sorry. Did this earlier. Someone sent me a text and when I set it down, it hits the voice activated part. So the whole conversation had been recorded in my text. So I deleted it and now it's doing it again. But anyway, when was the first FCS agent, first home demonstration agent? And where? Do we know that? We probably do.
Might be on our website in our historic archives.
Mhm. But this starts out with a profession. We came a little bit later, but not too far later. I know Kentucky had in 2014, we had our first FCS agent or home demonstration agent in 1914. I said 2014, 1914. So
1934 is when the National Home Demonstration Agents Association became a reality and the Constitution was adopted. And then, from there and throughout, then it became us. We're the current. I don't have a better date on here, but I know that Chris Kneep, our historian, would probably have that information if it wasn't something somebody else already had.
I know A&R was 1906 in Texas, but just curious.
Yeah, well, it might be good to include that if we're doing something generic, like this is, more about the association. Yeah, but if we did something generic, yeah. So Will, maybe if you find that out and then we could, add that in somehow. And if you share it with us, then we can go through. I mean, if you share it with us, I'll start. Maybe I can set it up in such a way that everybody do it in a cloud doc or something like that, or Dropbox, so that everybody can kind of have a little bit of input on it if they like, and then I can spiffy it up and send it back out once everybody kind of approves it.
I popped a link in, it's from Wiki. It looks like around 1911 is when the Home Demonstration Club started. Because in 1898, Illinois was the first time that they were like farmers.
Jennifer?
Hang on.
There's a Megan McAllister on line one for you.
So it might, I mean, I can't remember who said it, but it sounds right. Around 1911 might be the correct. It's just before 1930, I guess there wasn't an official association, but the clubs kind of started around 1911.
Okay. All right, good info. All right, so if you want to, we'll get that document into a Word doc, and then I'll kind of oversee it getting spiffied by everybody, and we'll circulate around. Awesome, thanks, good stuff. Good. Let me see. I have so many tabs open now. I don't know where was that going next, right? I think that kind of covers all our things that we need to do except for next meeting. And Will and I were talking, Rosie was there early on. It's we know it's hard to get people on calls and everything, but I think because it's going to be coming up here in January, we want to start getting stuff out early. We decided maybe having a meeting sometime in mid-January might be a good idea, just a really quick one to see where we all are and check in on this stuff. Is everybody good with that? Go ahead, Jennifer.
I think the 31st is the deadline to sign up for a committee, correct, Will? December 31st is the deadline. By then.
Sorry, there's not really a deadline for signing up for committees. Okay. Most people sign up during the renewal process or shortly thereafter when they learn about it, but people come in all throughout the year.
Yeah. So last year I sent out a purge thing trying to get, the list purged, which worked a little bit. Because, a lot of things with with public affairs, they stay on, but they're no longer public affairs, but they're still on the list. So we try to get a lot of excess off. Same thing with, Chris, if you have, as a committee chair, you have 60 people on your committee, but you only have 2 people show up, how are we going to get members more engaged? So, yeah, maybe the first of the year, just how many responded? Did you send out a doodle poll or anything to get people to?
So no, when we had our meeting in person, we set this date.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I actually have a in-person meeting going on. I'm supposed to be in, but I didn't want to cancel it because I'm like, oh no,
Sure.
I overlapped this other meeting, but
I
that's fine.
understand.
But yeah, so it's, we had said it, so I said, let's just stick to it because we said it and I had advertised it as such. So I can do a doodle poll, or I don't know, Will, if that, again, I'm not trying to load you up here, but seeing what people are best. But I know Will said before you got on, Jennifer, that they've done doodle polls, and I know from my own experience with things and committees, like, yep, everybody did doodle poll, and then you get on there and there's 2 of you because stuff happens, right?
Yeah. Well, I started to say, maybe just be best for you to set a date and, I don't mind to send something out too, or put it in the newsletter. Hey, if you're on a committee, make sure that you're engaged and, whatever. So.
Chris, I can tell you this, if you want to offer the Zoom yourself like you've done today, obviously my availability means nothing. If you want me to set it up and run it, or, be on here and get it recorded and all that good stuff, then you do want to pick a time where I'm available. Mid-January right now is great. The week of the 9th, the week of the 16th, and the week of the 23rd, all 3 of those weeks, I am mostly available any day. So if you want to pick something, or if you want to do a doodle poll, it's fine. Again, I don't have to be involved though. Certainly if I don't, y'all don't need me here to meet, but I'm just saying, if you want me to set up and run the Zoom, get it started and everything for you, mid-January works fine for me if it works for you guys.
Yeah, so I'm go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say my Mondays and Fridays are like completely booked in January. So I would love to be a part of it, but it will depend on when you decide.
Sure. I was thinking maybe doing it like early in the year there in January before people get sucked into everything else that takes so much of your time away, like maybe January 11th or something like that, like give people a little bit of time to come back from the holiday break and get in there and sit there, and I guess the same time, I figured this time of day with the time changes, it wouldn't have anybody on a call at 7 a.m., in their jammies or anything like that, or, staying late to be there. So, what do you
Could we
think?
do the 10th, Chris?
Sure.
January
Yeah.
10th at 11? Or 11 Mountain, whatever that is, 1 o'clock Eastern, I guess.
So January 10th at 1 o'clock.
Yes,
Yeah.
1
Is that
o'clock Eastern.
good with everybody else? You all you get an opinion because you showed up, right? Is that okay with, I know Jennifer, you pop in. It's okay with Will, right? You're here, you get the, I always say if you don't show up, that's when you get signed up for stuff. So watch out. You get voluntold.
That's it. Voluntold. Absolutely.
All right. Well, does that, I guess if that works for everybody, I didn't have anything else. Does anybody else have anything else? No. All right. Well, happy holidays. Thank you all for coming. And I'll get you the newsletter stuff, Will, so you have that. And Jennifer, if you're ever stuck, let me know and I can hop on. But I'll send you some stuff here and there for sure. All right.
Okay. Well, thank you all.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Chris,
guys.
for a great meeting.
Thanks. Have a good one.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
See ya.